All right, today we are going to take a look at how to install an operating system on this Dell laptop that we refurbished in our last video, and we are going to do that without any other computer. And how we're going to do this is using a USB-C to USB-A adapter, okay? So USB-C on one side, USB-A on the other, and that'll allow us to plug a thumb drive into our phone, and that will allow us to write an ISO image, which is used to install a new operating system on most computers. Now, you should be able to do this with almost any Android phone as long as it supports OTG, which is, I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I'll put it in the edit. But anyway, it allows you to connect one of these simple dongles to your phone and connect a USB drive. I've done this already just to be sure that it works like it's supposed to, and then I'll run you through the process now, and I'll just kind of redo everything as we go. So to start with, I've got to take you guys off of the tripod and bring you down here so I can plug everything in, and I'll screen capture to show you how this process goes. Okay, so first things first, we need to go download our ISO image, right? And so you need to decide what image you're going to run or what operating system you're going to run. I'm going to run Elementary OS on this computer. I want to try that out for my kids because it offers more parental controls inside the Linux distributions. So first I'm going to go to look up Elementary OS, which I already did, and we're going to go there. And this one has an option to pay what you can. I'm going to, right now, since I'm trying this out to figure out what I want to do, I'm going to put custom and put $0, and it gives me the option to download Elementary OS. I'm going to download for Intel and AMD 64-bit and go. And it shows I already have it because I did this earlier, but hey, we're going to do it again. Downloads the file to my phone, and we'll wait for this for just a second. All right, now that we have the operating system downloaded on our phone, we can go to the home screen on our phone. We can then go to Google Play Store, and you're going to want to download an application called EtchDroid. And I will show you what that looks like here. I can't even type. Good Lord. There we go. EtchDroid. Looks like this here. And that is the software you need to write a USB drive. So you download this, and I'll go ahead and open mine, and immediately you're brought to a very simple screen, okay? And it allows you to write an image, and that's pretty much it. So at this point, you insert the adapter into your phone, select write an image, and then you're searching in your downloaded folder or your downloads for that image, which mine's right here, Elementary OS 8.1 stable. Then I connect the thumb drive to my phone, like so. And now it's telling me that it can select this drive, and it gives me the name of the drive, which the drive matches that description. And then it's telling me to write this image to this thumb drive. I can grant access, which I will, and I select OK. And be careful, writing this image will erase all data from the selected drive. This is a 32 gigabyte drive. You need at least a 4 gigabyte drive for this operating system. Your mileage may vary based off of what operating system you choose. Nonetheless, I have more than enough space here. I'm okay with these files being deleted on this drive. I'm going to click write the image, and then it asks me to lay my phone down on a flat surface and to not touch it or skip that step. I decide to lay it down and not going to touch it. Now it writes. This takes a couple minutes, and then we have a bootable USB drive all from our phone. All right, now that we're done writing the drive, it gives us an image written successful message at the top of the screen. It gives you the option to support them financially. It's an open source application, an open source project. So if you have the means, please support them. You can write a review, or you can go ahead and write another image and write another thumb drive for a separate image if you want to do that. But nonetheless, we should now at this point have a bootable thumb drive that we can use on a computer. So we're going to exit out of this, and I'll get you guys back up on the tripod, and we can move on with the rest. All right, so we're sitting back down, and there's a few things I think that you should do when you're doing something like this that are just kind of a good advice. I don't know, best practices. There we go. First off, make sure you plug your laptop in when you're doing this, because if it loses power somewhere along the way, it's not going to be good for you. And a lot of some OSs have built-in power thresholds where they won't install if the laptop doesn't have a certain amount of power. So there's that. Second thing, if you can, I would hook up a LAN cable, a networking cable, to your actual computer. Not that there's a problem with getting Wi-Fi, but sometimes these operating systems don't have the best compatibility right out of the gate, and you end up struggling getting a connection trying to get it to work. So if you have a LAN connection, plug that in and make that work. If you have an adapter to connect to a LAN connection, do that. Sometimes those work just as well. Nonetheless, don't fret if you don't have a LAN connection on your laptop. You can do it using Wi-Fi. It just sometimes might take a couple more steps. Nonetheless, I would do that. The extra cable I have plugged in here is to an external monitor, so I can do screen capturing once the operating system pops up, so don't mind that. But the two things that I would make sure you have, if you can, is a network cable, and then on top of that, make sure you have your power adapter and you plug it in before you start this process. So let's dive right in. All right, so just to give you guys an idea of what we're looking at, this is what the boot menu looks like. I was just tapping the F12 key repeatedly as the machine was starting up, and it brought up a message saying preparing one-time boot. And it brought up this menu, right? So, and the things we have listed here are a UEFI boot, okay, which is the SanDisk Partition 1, which is the brand of my thumb drive, okay? And then we have these other options, right? BIOS setup, device configuration, flash update, diagnostics, so on and so forth. We obviously want to choose that option because that allows us to install a operating system. So I clicked enter on that option, and we are brought to this screen. Try or install the OS or save for graphics. We're gonna go ahead and try or install. Well, that's a fun message. Kernel panic, please reboot my computer. Attempt to kill init. Okay, so I did exactly what the message on the screen was saying. I rebooted the computer and select the same option, try or install the OS, and it brought me to a different screen. So don't panic when something like that happens. Just follow the instructions, see what happens, and go from there. Well, wouldn't you know, after I gave it a few minutes, we have an operating system popping up. But sadly, my HDMI port connecting to my screen capture card is just populating as a secondary screen for this setup. So like when I go scroll to the right over here, the mouse pops up over there, acting like it's a second monitor. So sadly, I can't get the screen recording. So I'm gonna run through this with you right now. So we're selecting English, and we are selecting United States English, because that's where I'm from. And we are selecting English keyboard, and default is fine. I want to erase my entire disk and install because I don't have anything on this disk anyway, so that's not a problem for me. It looks like we have 128 gig SSD, which we knew about already, so it's glad that it's detecting it. That's awesome. We're clicking next, and I need to put a password in here. Give me a second. Okay, so I created a password and I clicked erase and install, and now we are going through the install process. Okay, and we got an error. Installing Elementary OS 8 failed, possibly due to a hardware error. The device may not restart properly. You can try the following. We are going to try the install again and see what happens. Oh, same error. All right, let me do some research and see what's going on with this OS. Maybe this is a problem other people have found. So it turns out that Elementary OS, Elementary OS has a problem with partitioning hard drives on initial install. And some folks have found a way around this by partitioning the drive in demo mode and then installing from there. Some folks have gone and installed another OS and then come back and installed Elementary on top, and it seems to work fine. Since I'm doing this demo or doing this install for folks who don't have a whole lot of knowledge and want to install something that's just going to work as best as possible, I'm going to actually steer away from this and go a different direction and go with Linux Mint. I've had really good luck with Linux Mint, and there are ways to have parental control set up on Linux Mint. It just takes a little more of a manual setup, which is not a problem. Nonetheless, we're going to go make that change, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to download Linux Mint on my phone, write the drive using that, and go from there. Okay, so now we have a thumb drive with Linux Mint installed. Exactly the same process. You download the ISO you want, you open up the app, you click where to write it to, and select your image, and off you go. Super easy, super simple, really cool app. go support that team if you use it by any means. Even if you don't, it'd be a nice gesture. Nonetheless, so we're going to go back to installing this and go from there. There are a lot of install videos on Linux online, so there are complete walkthroughs on how to do this. I'm not going to go into super detail. I'll just kind of tell you along the way what I'm doing. So we have an error that reads, the installer encountered an error copying files to the hard disk. Error number 5, input-output error. So now that we know what we know and we're staring at a hard drive issue, at this point, we just needed to get a new hard drive. Now, luckily, these hard drives aren't super expensive, and it's something we can probably find on Amazon for 30 or 40 bucks. So I'm gonna start shopping around for a drive, I'll order one, and then on the next video, we'll finish this process and show you guys how to utilize a Linux Mint computer and give you the overall cost of what this looks like to have a machine functioning. And maybe we'll try that elementary OS now that we know it's not the actual operating system and it's something to do with the hard drive. Thanks for sticking around with me today, guys. I know it didn't pan out the way that we wanted it to, but I appreciate you watching, and I hope you learned something. I did along the way. And yeah, thanks again for sticking around. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.